Here with the boy, the
sauce.
The sauce. I'm here with Mr. Sauce.
Exactly.
Harry D, what are you saying, man?
I actually love coming on here, you know. I've missed everyone. Do you not miss me?
I don't know. It's a touchy subject, man. I don't know. You said a lot of things last time.
I did. Do you know what? We'll get to that.
We will.
A lot was said, but we'll get to that. We'll touch on that in a sec.
100%. So big up to Harry for coming on, man. It's going to be a Thursday thing, man. I'm not going to let out too much out the bag, but we got some stuff coming up for you lot. So yeah, this is the first of hopefully many. You know what I mean?
Of course.
What we got to start with now? Sancho unsettled. We got loads to talk about. We're going to talk about Sancho unsettled. That's the first thing. We're going to talk about Luis Campos, the technical director at Lille, the football director there, about what that would look like as a director of football at Manchester United, and then just a generic catch-up because me and him got loads to talk about. So, Harry, look, it's a touchy subject. I call it the S word. That's how scarred I am from the thing. The S word. That's just it. It did happen. We know that. But Sancho has started the season kind of unhappy, like hasn't been playing too well. What's your kind of understanding of that? Do you think that did take its toll? That whole saga kind of maybe unfocused him, or do you think it's just a blip?
For me, I think it would unsettle any player. Being linked to one of the biggest clubs in the world, Man United, been talks about him, personal terms being agreed. So in his mind, probably he's thinking, I'm going to be at Manchester United this season. I'm going to be playing in the Champions League with them, so on and so forth. And then that's not happened because certain man don't want to go into their wallet and use it. But we're not going to get into that because you get me. But I think he's obviously going to be unsettled. And then when we're looking at the results, like Dortmund ain't really winning that much games. They lost in Europe in the week as well. They lost the other day on the weekend as well. So for me, I feel like any player would be unsettled. And especially with how we dealt with him, we made him seem as if he was the main target, and then it's just kind of like we've just forgotten about it. And it doesn't seem as if he's going to go in January anyway, because the sporting director already said that that's not going to happen, innit? So for me, it's tough on him because we wanted him. It's clear he wanted to come to us, and it's not happened. So he has to just basically stick it out in Germany with Dortmund, which won't be easy if your mind's elsewhere in it. So I don't think any player in that circumstance wouldn't be in the position he's in.
Yeah, and just be agitated. Like it was just such a long saga. Like I feel traumatized even talking about it. Like I like honestly, because I tagged out from early. Like even when you came on and was like, bro, I was still even afterwards. I messaged you. I was like,
but by the way, when I said it was done, I meant done as in it's not gonna work. Obviously, I don't speak English that well, innit? My English is over the last few weeks and months and stuff. My English ain't been the best. So sorry, people. But no, jokes aside, it was one of those things, where it was the most talked about thing on the internet in terms of football because of how big the player is and how big Man United is. And on top of that, we really, really needed him. So the fact that we wasn't able to get him, I think it sent shockwaves around the world, really, just to indicate how unserious Man United's scouting techniques are. It's just shocking. You got the man there, paid the money, bro. Paid the money. Man paid 80 mil for a slab, for a fridge, a Samsung, with not even a smart Samsung. You get me? We paid all of that piece for him, and we can't cough up another 40 M's for a prospect, a talent, someone who has played with Rashford, has played with Maguire, even if you have to say it. Like, he's played with some of those players in the team with Greenwood. So it made sense for me to bring him. We didn't do it, and it's like, now we're just seeing a player who could potentially even go to someone else. Do you know, as Man United fans, what that will do to us, Flex?
Oh, don't. If you tarnish from it now, if you see him go to Liverpool at the end of the season because Salah went Real Madrid or something like that.
Tears, Flex. I need to drink some water.
Hold tight, Mr. Glenn Johnson. Big up for the super chat. Get your super chats in, guys. Interactive community today. We want to get all the questions in for Harry and myself. We want to read out your comments as well. So get your super chats in. Mr. Glenn Johnson says, beat PSG. Board members announce another 13 million in dividends, 23 million in total for 2020. People get angry. Q, director of football, and Sancho rumors. So sick and tired. Basically, Mr. Glenn Johnson's acting, basically saying, bit of a PR stunt. Like we always see it. They've announced the financial situation during the week. Obviously, we've got losses, but we've also seen the fact that they've taken dividends out as well. Hold tight, the United Stand crew. They're saying man like Harry said DONE, but really I think he meant DUN, as in it's done. It's not going to happen. That's what we're saying here, isn't it?
Mad though, Flex. Yeah, we do this all the time where we speak about the profits that we make, and then it comes out with the second biggest club, richest club in the world, or with the first, or whatever. But we're not doing anything substantial with that money, bro. Like I'm looking at our club, and we won against PSG, and I was very, very happy with that performance, innit? But strength in depth for me is what sets aside teams that are trying to win trophies, innit? Like we need to make sure that if a Rashford gets injured, God forbid, or if a Greenwood gets injured, God forbid, that we've got someone of that level or even better to play in those positions. I said it before when we was at the I can't remember what game it was, where I said Oli out.
That's awesome.
That wasn't actually me. That was my twin, Barry Pinero. So yeah, he's.
I said Barry Pinero, bro.
yeah, Barry Pinero. Yeah, that guy. And it was because we sold Lukaku and we didn't bring anyone in to replace him. And Lukaku's shown what he can do. He's a proven goal scorer. Although it didn't work for me, but like I look at it like our recruitment is just absolutely horrible, man. It's shocking.
Yeah, it's not the best. First of all, hold tight. People saying I'm wearing a Rangers shirt. I'm not. I'm wearing a Flamengo top. I got this when I went Brazil, man. I went to Rio. This is the team, man. Like this is my little. Every time I go traveling and stuff, I like to pick up a shirt of where I've gone, as long as they're no rival of Man United, obviously. So I'm in my little Flamengo top, man. I'm just taking a break. Allow me. Yeah, they're saying your audio is a little bit light, Harry. I don't know if you've got some headphones to plug in, but if not, we'll work with it. That's probably
I've got AirPods. I can get my AirPods.
Yeah, that could work. Maybe try that.
Give me 2 seconds.
Do your thing. I'll hold the fort. We'll try and get Harry a little bit louder for you. I mean, look, my thoughts on the S word of this. It was drawn out. I'm not going to go back into the whole 0% thing again and all of that, but I tagged out early. But it's interesting to see that he started the season poorly. It could be, you know, it could be a blip. It could be a blip, and maybe it is. But I just think we missed such an opportunity there to get him. I'm not surprised that he started the season poorly. Like Harry said there, it's going to get in your head. It's going to make you feel away. You know, Manchester United wanted you. You know, you wanted to come to Manchester United, and it didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? It didn't happen. So that's just where we're at with that. I think the fact that he's unsettled is you know. It's a sure shot. You can understand why. Harry, you back in?
I'm in. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, that sounds all right, actually. Let us know in the comments if that sounds any better. If not, we'll turn them off. But I think that sounds a little bit better. It sounds a bit actually like, I don't know, I can hear like rustling though. I don't know if that's better or worse. You there?
So what do you reckon? Should I take it off then?
I think that's all right. We'll roll with that. Yeah. All right. You took them out. All right. Cool. We'll go with that. We'll pattern it. We'll pattern it for the next time. That's cool. You can hear me, yeah? You good? You there? Yeah. Let's tell him to come back out. Come back in. Super chat here from Smoxa says, "Do you think Tuanzebe will start on Saturday?" That's a good, interesting one, because I think that with the Harry Maguire situation, we know he's going to come straight back in. Straight back in like, you know, straight back in like Harry Pinero, straight back in like you. You there?
Yeah, I'm there.
That's perfect. Okay, we'll work with that. Basically, a question, super chat here. Get your super chats in, guys. We want to push the community. We want to interact with you guys. I know that sometimes a hell of a lot of super chats come in and sometimes they don't get read out. I want to make sure that does not happen anymore. So yeah, get your super chats in, guys. Do you think Tuanzebe is going to start on Saturday, Harry?
I want him to, man, but I just know how it goes, man. It's just, it ain't gonna work. I think Tuanzebe showed how much of a great defender he is. He's so smart on and off the ball. That's the type of assurance we need in the back. And we've tried with Lindelof, with Bailly, with Maguire, and it hasn't seemed comfortable for those players. But Tuanzebe just oozes in class. I think if Oli knows what's good for him, we've got Chelsea, a tough game. We should play that same kind of formation again and see how it works, because I feel like that would nullify all the attack that's Chelsea have in it. And yeah, I think Tuanzebe's got to start, man. He didn't put a foot wrong. Why would we not play him? Like, why
he was solid. I mean, but the thing is about that, yeah, is that I can see why we wouldn't play. Not we. I can see why Oli won't play him, because Harry.
But why? Why?
Because Harry's his guy, Harry.
Bro,
Your name's Harry. Maybe you can tell me why. Maybe it's something to do with the name Harry.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'll be totally honest with you. Yeah, the fee, the fact that he's the captain, the fact that he put in work abroad, all of these things, yeah, are in like they're not. It's like they wouldn't be in his favor if he was a certain other player. But if because it's him, it's like we have to stand by him, and I totally understand that. That's the captain. But when we're looking at performances, yeah, we've looked our best with Twanzebe as a centre back. So me as a manager, I'm not even a manager, but if I was, I'd be looking at my best team, and that was our best performance of the season so far. So me personally, I would put him in, and I think even it's so mad. I think having Maguire there with Twanzebe, Maguire would look like a better player.
Oh, you're saying that? You're saying Twanzebe's got to level up Maguire.
In essence, you'd think that Maguire would be that player, but Twanzebe actually will get better. He got Villa promoted with Tyrone Mings as centre back. And Championship's not an easy league to win. It's really not. And the Premier League is obviously another level. But if you're starting like that and you're getting teams promoted, who knows where you could be in the future? So for me, I think it's the smart thing is to start him, man.
See, I think it's a really difficult one because when he came up here with Villa, it's easy to say it now because he got injured. But I would have loved to have actually seen him stay at Villa. I know it would have been a relegation battle, but it's one that they won in the end. And he could have been an integral part of that for his development. That would have been sick. But I suppose Ollie let Smalling go. Obviously, Rojo's not there. Phil Jones is Phil Jones. He basically said, Phil Jones is Phil Jones. He basically said, Axel, like, you're going to be my guy, like, second in command. As soon as Lindelof's not at it, Bailly's always injured, I'm rating you. And he got injured. That's what we see all the time. So I don't know. I just don't know if they trust his fitness, but I'd love to see him get a run of games so I can see what his body can deal with. I want to see him get like 10, 15 games on the spin. But I just can't see it happening. Marcos Macedo says, go over to my hometown, Sao Paulo, get yourself an SPFC shirt, and everything will be all right in the world again. The United stand, the United stand. So when I next go out there to Brazil, I will try a thing. KA, thanks for the contribution. Super chats flying in now, guys. We get these read out. Says stop service from Jorginho, Kovacic, and Chelsea are done. Play Axel to counter Werner. Lad has to start. My worry is injury though. K, big up yourself for that, K. That's basically what we're saying. Like we've got to talk about the Lil Luis Campos thing, but we'll get to that. Just to finish off on kind of Twanzebe, this thing about the injury situation, Harry. Like you see, like with Bailly, we was like, oh, he's our best centre back. Let's play. It's like I feel like our centre backs are so like sporadic. Let's face it, we don't really have 100% faith in any of them. Why? Because they're either injured or we don't think they're good enough.
Yeah.
So with Twanzebe, can you see the kind of reluctance?
It's tough. It's tough. It's because it's like I said, and like what Kay just said, it's the injuries. He's such a good player, but it's like if we put so much pressure on him, he gets injured, we're back to square one again. And it's like having a secret weapon on the bench with Twanzebe, but we're not in a position where we're winning games comfortably. So I think it's a risk that we have to take. And if so be it, if he does get injured and we have to revert back to the shaky Warriors, then it is what it is. But I genuinely feel like we got to try. We got to try with him because like that performance, and I know if people say it wasn't a good PSG team, blah, 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 tomato. He done well, and he put one of the greatest players of our generation in his pocket. For me, that says a lot about what he's on and what he can potentially be. And I think it would be very criminal to not put him on the starting lineup for the weekend.
Anoop says, guys, let's be realistic. I'm positive with PSG performance, but come on. These rumours will keep coming out, but our board will let us down every single time. At least need to learn that it's been 3 seasons like this. Basically, Anoop's saying he doesn't, yes, a good performance and that, but the rumours coming out from the board, little trinkets of they're trying to change stuff. He's basically not buying it. And look, I can see why. I can see why, because they constantly let us down. Moving the topics on, we've got to talk about Luis Campos. Like the rumours coming out today. I read a piece in the Daily Mail here, Harry. I'll read you some quotes. He went down as saying, everybody needs a sporting director. I believe I could help Manchester United. If you don't know who Luis Campos is, I've done a little bit of research, as I'm sure some of you has. He was instrumental in kind of knitting together that Monaco setup. So when we saw the likes of Martial come through there, Mbappe, Fabinho, Bernardo Silva, and obviously crazy production line. He was also Jose Mourinho's right-hand man at Real Madrid as well. Speaks to Mourinho a lot. Some people might see that as a little bit of a don't want anyone who's boys of Mourinho around. But He found Pepe, although our jury's out on Pepe. We don't really rate Pepe over this
He's
channel.
a fraud. He's inshallah, whip it in.
You know what I'm saying? And he found what's his face? Gabriel as well from there. So look, he's a guy who's comes with high stock, and he's basically saying that he said managers shouldn't be alone. Football can be a lonely place. Managers should be focusing on the superstar footballers' egos, planning the next game. They need help. And Manchester United don't have that setup. I would love to work for a big club, he went on to say. I mean, what's your thoughts about that? We heard murmurs about this like a year ago when it was going to be Van der Sar, and it just never happened. Do you think we're actively looking at that?
I think it's just another rumor, man. We are one of the most, like, we're so like fickle. We want news. We want something new. We want that what we want is what we love to hear, innit? And I think look at all the good clubs that are winning trophies, from Bayern Munich to Dortmund. I remember there was a period where Germany was not an integral part of European football in terms of they weren't winning no trophies. It's like they went back to the drawing board and realized, okay, we need to actually look at developing players and getting someone to find quality players, because they always seem to find that player who can play 3 positions. Look at Kimmich, and they've just bought another player. I think Traore, right back. He come on yesterday.
Yeah,
it's that developing a way of realizing that, you know what, it's no longer the Sir Alex Ferguson days. We need to adapt in it, and having a director who's actually going to go and implement what the manager needs is so integral. Look what he's done for Monaco. He arguably made some of the greatest players that we've seen in this generation. We've got Martial, Bernardo Silva. Look, this is
Mbappe, Mendy at Man City.
But I just think, the top of our club doesn't want us to progress the way that we as fans want. We want to see our team win. They want to see the club make money. So it's a limbo. So of course that news that's coming out is going to be something that we're always going to speak about. But for me to feel like it's real, I don't believe so. Him saying that he would want to come, and anyone would. I think it's just it's there for Man United to take. It's so much easier for us to do, but we're not going to do it. I doubt it.
You see it as they're not going to want to shake up the situation. Matt, more super chats flying in, guys. I get these read out. Rio Tuanzebe and Luke Shaw, low-key our best centre-back pairing against teams with pace. If we go up against teams good in the air, then we should start Harry. That's interesting. Basically, get Luke Shaw in as an actual centre-back. Shaikh says, is actual that injury-prone like Bailey? Like Bailly, he had 1 season out, but isn't actual injury overhyped? If you actually see his overall career, love from India. So I'd help out all the overseas fans in India as well. Fair point, because I think it's a bit dread to say that he's as injury prone as Eric Bailly for sure, because he did. We haven't seen Eric Bailly play 1 full season. I don't remember seeing him playing like game 1 to 38 in the Premier League and all the cups and stuff like that. Impossible. But at least, to be fair, in the Championship as well, you know how difficult that league is. Axel played the whole way through. And Mariano says, can you see a potential Tuanzebe Mengi partnership in the future? I mean, that's difficult to tell, isn't it, really? I mean, Mengi looks like he's going to be a great player. Looks like he's got a lot of potential, Harry, but it's hard. Like you said, when you said like we want news and we want like to hear good stuff, we also like want our youngsters to do really well. Want that whole just play him, play Hannibal, play Medjbury, play Chong, just get Levitt in there, like, do you know what I mean? Get Jimmy Garner in there, and we'll talk about some of the youngsters later on in the show because we've got a few out on loan. But can you see anything in that? Luke Shaw and maybe Tuanzebe together against faster teams and maybe switching it up. You see Solskjaer doing that?
Well, do you know what? I actually was impressed with how Luke Shaw played as left centre back. Actually,
he played 6.
He looked very, very composed. He looks like, I think there was less of him having to do the running, like probably doesn't like to do anymore. So he looked really good there. But again, this is just 1 game, and I think we shouldn't get too excited about that result and how we played in that game because we've got Chelsea. I feel like it's something that we actually have to trial and error and see how it works because against different teams, and we have to be very honest as well. That PSG, the front 3, were not tracking back at all. There was times when Bissaka had a lot of time on the ball, and which is very, very rare for him, and that's why he had such a great performance. So I think this is something we need to try again. But Luke Shaw at centre back, I think, is better than left centre back. Than how he's played as a left back for us. Because Telles looked amazing. He was whipping balls in. I think it would be criminal again not to start him. But for me right now, I think why not try Tuanzebe and Luke Shaw centre back? Why not? There's not much we can do apart from play as bad as we did against Tottenham, and I don't think we're going to do that again this season. So these shouts are. I think it's a way for us to find our best team. So yeah, I'm down for that.
Anu, big up for the super chat, bro. He says, hate injuries, but Maguire injury could trigger the board to buy Upamecano in January. Remember, Pogba injury brought us Bruno. I hope that will happen. Thoughts on that? I'll clear up what Anu's saying. I don't think he's wishing injury on Harry Maguire. I think he's just saying that maybe the board will look at it. And I don't know. I'm not so sure. Look, we didn't have the money to get Jadon Sancho for big money. Upamecano signed a new deal. Is he going to come in January? Middle of they're in our league, they're in our group stages. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they don't get out the groups because of us and PSG. I don't know. Maybe they drop down to the Europa, but I don't know if I can see that. Can you see them going for Upamecano in January?
Not in January. I think January is a bit of a bit bold to say January because again, remember they need to use him in the Champions League. And he's an integral part of that team. Very, very strong, young player, imposing figure in that team. I doubt they'll get rid of him. But I think hopefully what happens is what happened with Cristiano Ronaldo when we played against them in the preseason. And Sir Alex Ferguson was like, listen, I need you to come back. I think that will be a big wake-up call if he has a very strong performance against us in those 2 games, that maybe they'll be like, okay, cool, we need him for next season because next season we can't be having what we had this season. We need to come and get our targets from early. We need to be tapping them up from January, from now even. But he's such a good player, and I've watched him, and he doesn't look out of pocket. He looks like he knows football proper. And imagine him and Twanzebe. Black Lives Matter. Come on, man. That would be crazy, bro. That's my dream. That's my dream, to have the man them playing. They love the game because you can see Upamecano actually still loves football. I don't think he cares about the superstar status like some players do. He's focused on, and that's what we need.
Shatania says, I believe we need a director of football, but we want someone who understands the fabric of the club rather than imposing his own idea, which will be worse because manager, director of football, and CEO will have different opinions. That's a really big comment. Big up yourself, bro, there. Because you know what? I think, like what you said there, Harry, like we all want news. We all want it to work, but it has to be the right person. You know what I'm saying? Like Luis Campos comes with a great history of doing what he does and a great reputation. But we know what Ed Woodward's about. We know what Ollie's about in terms of what he wants for the club. And we know what Man United's about. So they all do need to be aligned. But my thing with the DOF, before we kind of move on from that and move into some different topic, my thing is that like, I just can't see them giving the power away. I think they like you said there, the board, whether it's Ed Woodward or the people above him, they like being in control of these things. And I don't know if they think, bringing in an outsider. Do you know what I'm saying? An outsider where we can't tell them what to do. It's basically the other way around. They're in control of recruitment. It's their job to do this, that, and the other. How to negotiate for players, what type of players. And I just think it would be so powerful to have a director of football. But again, I don't think they want to give up the power.
No, I agree, Flex. Because you look at it like they haven't given up the power ever since they've been there. Like we've suffered, and it's a credit to Sir Alex Ferguson because this stuff was still happening while he was there, but he's such a great manager. He was still able to churn out trophies and cleverly won a Premier League title. I need everyone to take that one in.
Big up Cleverly. Oh, he's doing bits at Watford as well. Scored the other day. Big up Cleverly.
But that's the thing I'm talking about. Like it's just like he done a great job. Now he's gone. Now it shows where we are right now, and we need someone to control that then matters, because what's going to happen is we're going to be keep getting taken from mugs, basically, because if you look at the amount of money we're spending on players in comparison to other teams, it's ridiculous. Players and teams know that when it comes to Man United's coming for your player, extortion, and that's something that we have to deal with. Successful clubs, I said it before, Real Madrid are another club that have to deal with that as well. The only problem is they've got mad amounts of money, so they can do that. But we're in a position right now where we're not in that financial threshold that we was of the previous years where we had money to just flow left, right, and center. We just spent 80 million on a player. Previously, we spent another madness on Pogba. And there's no like trophies to go with it. So I think this director of football needs to be able to buy smarter, cheaper, but with quality as well.
That's very true, because other teams, they get gems, bro. Like you look at Chelsea, you got Werner for 50 million.
Partey, bro. Did you see Partey's performance today?
He played well. Although it was against Vienna, he done everything spot on. But and we can't even hate on that. I was looking on deadline day at Arsenal thinking, oh mate, like that pisses me off. Like that they got.
But I'm not gonna lie though, Flex. Tellers, I like that buy.
Talk to me. What are you saying about him? Talk to me.
I saw his delivery, and that's one thing that Man United have always had. We've always had great players who whip it in, And he done amazing. I think he's very strong, decent defensively as well. But going forward, it helps the wingers because I feel like Rashford, when he's on the wing, he needs that player that does the overlapping run. He needs it. And to have that, so he has options to have a cut inside and do what he does. That option is great. So I'm excited to see what Telles does for us. But I was really, really impressed by his performance.
Yeah, I thought he was bright, and it'd be interesting to see how he's been used. I mean, look, the fact that when Solskjaer went to a 4, he took Telles off and still kept Shaw. The fact that they trust Shaw to even go from a left back to a left centre back shows how much they actually do rate Shaw. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Big up to Ellis Hilton for the super chat, bro. Ellis Hilton says, "Hello, Harry and Flex. Do you think Cavani? Will bring to the What do you think Cavani will bring to the Premier League? And keep doing what you're doing, enjoying the content. Big up yourself, Ellis. We'll answer that question in just a sec. And there's another super chat here from Chaitanya. Therefore, someone from past players will work because he will be more aligned to Ollie than Ed in the director of football sense. Maybe get an old past player like Van der Sar would be amazing. He would be brilliant. What do you think Cavani's going to bring, bro? Like, how do you see that panning out? Has it unsettled Martial already? Like, he hasn't started too good. He did well in patches against PSG. I thought he's coming into the game. What are you saying about the way that he's maybe perceived Cavani? What do you think Cavani's going to be used like? What do you think he's going to bring for us?
Well, it's like people have forgotten that Igalo's going back in January. We got a long season. I think Cavani is a more proven finisher than Igalo is. And with Cavani's still got it. He's a bit older now, and obviously that's probably what people are looking at. Probably thinking if he gets injured, then it's going to be out. But I still think he can offer us some goals. I think he's one of those players that we can use when our players are getting tired. We know what he's good for. We know if you give him delivery, we know his movement is insane. So I'm sure that he will be a great addition to the team. Not what he was when probably like 3-4 years ago when he was just bagging them in left, right, and centre, but still a good striker. Still got 2 years of him at United. So I think it'll be good for us anyway. And it's good to have strength in depth. I just always look at teams that have won trophies. There's always another player to replace the player who's the main guy. And I think that's what we need to build on. And I think Cavani's a good buy, man.
Be honest, was you pissed though? Like,
absolutely. I was gutted. When man said Cavani, bro, do you know, it gave me...
You was pissed, bro. You just gave that whole speech and I'm like...
No, but you know what, bro? I'm a positive United thinker. So I think with the heart, but my mind... Now you just made me think with my mind now. So it reminded me of when Falcao came. I was on holiday. I was in Turkey, Marmaris. Big up all my Turkey people. Great holiday. Enough things happened on that holiday. Wink. But... I'm looking at that. I remember I saw Falcao, Di Maria, and I saw all these players, and I was like, yes, this is it. These are the names that we need. We need these big players, and it didn't work. So I understand that I had that in the back of my mind when he signed. I was like, oh, it's going to be another one of those ones. And South Americans and Man United, they don't really bowl too well. They don't really mix, innit? Like I think the most successful one that we've had, forgive me if I'm wrong, would probably be Tevez.
Tevez. He done what? He made a bit of a pagan in the end. Yeah, no, he was that front three when it was Berbatov, Rooney, Tevez. That there was proper.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe he can replicate that. But he is a proven striker, so let's see what he does, man. But he does know where the back of the net is, and that's for sure.
I just on another South American. You've got to big up Anderson though, because Anderson won stuff. Like I know, don't get me wrong, he used to move a bit mad, but he won stuff. He won stuff.
He was a 419er because I remember he was Golden Boy.
Proper.
I didn't see none of the Golden Boy business over there.
I just saw a boy. And big up Valencia as well. That he was there for a long time. Valencia, like over 10 years of service. Rafael did well for a little period. So we've had Diego Forlan done all right. Comments are coming in.
Man scored like 6 goals in 55 appearances, man. Do you know what? Like it's 50. I wouldn't say it's 50. I say it's 60-40 in a sense of we haven't had the best of them. But
100%.
We hopefully we've got one with Cavani, man. Because bruv, his movement is. You know what? As fans do, I was watching bare YouTube content of his, and his movement is nuts.
You just done a KG, bro. You're just like KG's like I don't know who the hell this guy is, but I will find out in 5 minutes.
I love this club. I love this club.
Marcus says, now that we seem to have a bit more depth and diversity in the squad, it's now over to Ollie and his staff to show to use their true tactical abilities against different opposition. I agree with that, Marcus. It's true. Like, they've got to show. And in the last 2 games, to be fair, in Newcastle and PSG, they did do that. They did do that. Cruz 23 says, competition for the 9 has been missing for a while. That's true. Like, as much as I love Martial, and I don't want to do that Martial FC thing and that, because I don't want the fan base to be segregated. Martial FC, you know what I mean? But he can't spit his dummy out, be like, oh, I know, Ollie, you wanted me to be the main guy, and now you're getting this guy. Nah, like, you're still the guy. That's fine. But understand that we're trying to reach greatness again, bro. We're trying to kick on. Like, we need, like you said there, we need to strengthen depth. So if Martial spits his dummy out and then has bad performances because he can't handle the pressure of Cavani sitting there, then maybe Martial ain't the guy we thought he was. I don't think that. I'm just saying, if he was to not be at it because of that.
Yeah, because look, we saw how David De Gea has been playing over late, and he's been amazing. And I think having Dean Henderson knocking on his door again, I think that's made him realize that, okay, cool, my position isn't as secure as I thought it was. Because a lot of these players that we had no backups for them, were comfortable. Pogba, Maguire, all of these players have been comfortable because they know nobody is going to come and take their position. And now we're in a position, right, where we've got, even in our midfield, it's jam-packed. We don't even know who our best midfield pairing is right now because there's a lot of competition right now. So I think up front would be better for Martial. Martial's comfy. He knows he's always going to play number 9. He is our number 9. But having that competition, I think I think he's the type of player that he'll thrive off that, and it'll be good for us.
And we need it, exactly. But more so with Martial, give him a whole season of Bruno, give him a fully fit Marcus Rashford supplying him. Hopefully we can get Paul Pogba into some sort of rhythm, and Martial will score goals. Do you know what I'm saying? Over 8,000 people watching live, man. That is dope. Smash a like on the videos. Subscribe if you're new. Share the video. Let's see if we can get up to 8.5 watching live. That is sick. Big up all the United Stand community watching around the world. We've got loads of super chats being read out as well. So get involved in the community, and we can get your thoughts and feelings read out. Kian McMahon says, do you think we could play McTominay in centre-back?
Do you know what? Scott, he's a decent midfield player. Like,
he spent some time around a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah. And I kind of like tapped into how he is. He's proper nice guy, man. He's got his head proper in football. He's not one of those people that's just doing it for the fame and whatnot. But I genuinely feel like he needs his time. He needs to be given opportunities. I like the way he played against PSG. I think he was very, very like trying to cut down Neymar as much as possible. And I think he's neat on the ball. I think as time goes on, these players will get more confident on the ball, and we just got to give him that. But to play him as centre back, I think that's something that we don't need to be doing. That's like where we got no defenders. That's like great. You get me. But for now, I think 100% we can play him as a centre mid, man. He needs to stay there.
Shatanya says, I know this is a different topic, but in terms of manager, people say Ollie is tactically naive, but understand this. At this level, job is 90% man management than tactical, the same way Gary Kristen did to Indian cricket team for the World Cup win. Yeah, like basically saying, Sir Alex, there's this argument that happens all the time. Like Sir Alex was a great man manager. Sir Alex had a lot of good number 2s along the way. He kept it. Oh, Harry's gone. Harry just went. He just went. I'm sure he'll pop back in. Sir Alex kept it moving with the number 2s, and that's why I think Solskjaer is being depleted a little bit. Maybe no disrespect to Mick Phelan or Mike Carrick and stuff like that, but I think if he has people alongside him, I think he will be able to shine. Harry, you good?
Yeah, you know when you're from the hood, like your reception is not the best. One day I'll make it like Flex, and my reception will be good. Sorry, guys.
Hey, if you're not watching, man, try send Harry like a little internet dongle or something like.
Yeah, please. I need optic.
Send him a couple megabytes, man. I was basically talking about I forgot what I was even saying now. Basically that the man management side of it. That Ollie seems like, is he? If I was to say have a percentage swing of how much of his style is man management, putting the arm around the players, managing the egos, building confidence, and how much of his managerial style is tactical, like superness. Like you'd probably lean more towards the man management style, and that's last super chat was basically saying how important it actually is.
Yeah, he's the type of guy. Okay, boys, I know what we need to do. Like he's
so what the? What is he? Is he from like like
Have you
Gloucestershire or
clocked?
something.
He's got like a Manchester
Norwegian.
like Norwegian accent. But anyway, that was horrible. Sorry about that. But
That was mad. You can't do that
never,
ever again.
yeah, never
Nah,
again.
you
But
funny.
do you know what it is? I feel like he is that type of player that will actually speak to you and ask you like what's going on and give you that personal chat rather than it being like, you know, in a group. I think he'll actually he seems like a proper nice guy in it. And I think that's probably why the players have that respect for him. But I think there needs to be more from him. I think there needs to be a bit of a more ruthless edge to him. Because there's certain games where I watch us and I just feel like he's not. You know, it's not like I like when managers come to the touchline, but it would be good for me to see some anger at him or shouting at a player and telling a player, "Listen, you get me? I want to see that stuff." But usually it's more Mike Phelan or Michael Carrick that comes out and does that. So maybe he is one of those managers that is good to just talk to people, but I don't know. Maybe I want to see more from him. I'm just used to old school Fergie just getting mental on the touchline.
Chewing the gum, throwing it down, opening up another roll. When Fergie spits that gum out, opens up the next Wrigley's, the long, skinny Wrigley's, the old school. It's over. Do you know what I'm saying? Hold tight, Shaik says, Black Lives Matter. For all who said to me, I am from India, why do I care? Racism exists everywhere. Sorry about the super chat if it's inappropriate. That's not inappropriate, bro. 100% back in the movement. We're about equality in racial ways and equality, whether you're gender or whether you're sexual orientation, any of that, man. So yeah, I don't really like when people do that whole, just real quick, Harry, like, oh, don't put politics in football. Like, it's not, these things aren't about politics. They're about right and wrong, human race. Like the stuff that's going on in Nigeria right now is a disgrace. And yeah, I get it. We're a football channel, but we're not going to just act like these things aren't happening. Like I say, I want consistent energy, whether it's against sexism towards women in football, or whether it's homophobia, or whether it's racism, whether it's going at people because of their religion. Any form of discrimination needs to be stamped out. So yeah, that's where I stand on that, man.
No, 100%, especially as we've seen everyone be very unified during this time period, this period of time where it's been very difficult for all of us. I feel like the sense of solidarity is what we need. So we need to continue that, and especially what you said, what's happening in Nigeria, what's been happening to Black people across the world, what's happening to even with homophobia, with everything. It's, I think, just being a collective and sticking together is important. So man, shout out to everyone that's riding the wave, man.
100%. We just want everything to be equal. No leg ups for any race, any gender, any creed. Just everything equal. Anup says, you guys see Arsenal have 2 goalkeepers in the bench, but no Odin.
By the way, I loved Leno. If you go on my Twitter,
I see that.
Tweeted it. So let's let them know that Harry Pinero from the ends has loved their keeper. Do you know what?
Did you mean that?
Oh, I gave him the scoop.
He scooped it.
I gave him the scoop, man. You know what I mean? But Arsenal, do you know what's so mad about Arsenal, though? Quickly, let's just touch on them, though. They bought a player that they didn't need. And what they really need is centre-backs. They need more players in attacking positions because the ones that they've got ain't working. But I just love to see them like this because I know where this is going to end. I've seen this happen before.
You can see it ended in tears, yeah?
Of course, man. Of course.
Hopefully, we've got them in a couple of weeks as well. So, do you know what I mean? Before we talk about the Chelsea game and the lead up to that, I want to talk about some of our young players because we've got a few young players out on loan. I want to talk about some of them, about how you think they can maybe come back from their loans and if there's anything in it for them, or do you think we're just developing them so that they can have the platform to go and have a decent career elsewhere? Top of my list is Jimmy Garner at Watford. I don't know if he's a baller. I don't know if you've kept an eye on him at Watford, but he's been doing well, man.
The thing is with Man United, yeah, we actually have fantastic young players.
Apologies, bro. Apologies. Oh. I missed your super chat. Apologies.
But yeah, we have fantastic young players. I was so pissed at Angel Gomez when Chong. I wanted us to give him some time as well. But with Garner, he just seems so confident on the ball, and I think that's what we're missing in midfield sometimes. That confidence to say, "Relax, guys," and he oozes that from a young age. I think Man United's youth system is probably one of the best in the country, but it's just very hard to bring them into the team when there are better players than them. But I think if we can keep them on loan and let them get more experience, and if they prove themselves away like what Axel done at Aston Villa, then I think it will work well for us.
Mustafa says James Garner was class yesterday for Watford. Yeah, look, you might call me a bit of a football geek and stuff, but I like to try and, if we got young players out on loan, if there's a game on and I know they're playing, I'll fling it on or I'll watch the highlights afterwards. I watched the 15-minute Watford highlights when they beat Blackburn 3-1 the other night. And James Garner, bro, he was pivotal. I know a few Watford fans and they've been saying how impressed they are with him and his maturity on the ball. Like he laid one ball through for their right back and they got a goal through that João Pedro, who's a good player. Then another, he was part of the second goal. We played a wicked ball over the top through to Sarr, who Ismaila Sarr, by the way. A lot of Man United fans were saying dead. Right. Listen, he can play. Right. He can play.
Crazy player. It's confidence. It's confidence. Do you know what it is? People on the Premier League is huge. He's gone down to the Championship where he's going to absolutely violate. And I feel like this is the best thing for him, where not a lot of eyes will be on him, because in the Premier League, the eyes are on you 24/7. So one bad performance and then you're labelled a flop. So he's going to prove himself well at Watford. Great player.
Yeah. And you know what? You got Tom Cleverley there, can put an arm around him. I've been at Man United. I know what it's like. You got Ben Foster there, can put an arm around him. I've been at Man United. I know what it's like. You got Troy Deeney there. I know you know Troy quite well. I've had a few conversations with Troy Deeney. He'll put an arm around him and help him. I just think it's a great environment for him to be around. And Watford's such a family club as well.
Chalobah as well.
Say that again?
Chalobah, they got Chalobah as well. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've got a lot of like decent players there who can put an arm around Jimmy. And I hope, look, we know we've got a lot of competition at Man United because a couple of like people that I know support Watford kind of said to me, what's he like? What's he like? And I was like, listen, man, I don't want to go overboard, but people kind of say he's kind of similar to Carrick, gets on the ball, trying to move the ball. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next, but he just needs some game time and we can't give him that right now. Great move. And then literally after the first game, really good friend of mine, she said that he was amazing. He's a baller. He's on all the set pieces straight away. Into a Watford side that was kind of trying to feel their way into the Championship as well, and they're getting settled. So yeah, man, I think he's going to be dope. I hope they come up. Imagine he can get a promotion with Watford. That would be sick.
I think that sets the standard of how his career should continue. I think if you can get a team promoted from the Championship, which is such a hard league to actually get promoted from, that will actually do well for his career, because he's part of a winning club, which is Manchester United. Well, previously anyway, it's been a long time, but he's part of that, and it's in the DNA for us. And I think growing up, he's probably seen that stuff anyway, so it's embedded in him anyway. It's just for him to actually start implementing that, and he's doing it at Watford. So hopefully he does have a great season and he can come back and do the business for us.
100%. Last one before we move on and get back to United. Someone just said there in the super chat, thoughts on Troy working with the Sun flex. Look, I know you know Troy Deeney quite well. I know you've had a few. He's a great guy. Look, I know people are kind of trying to get on his back and say that he's on TalkSport now as well. But listen, at Troy's age, I think he's perfectly entitled to look at things that are going to be after football. He's stayed at Watford. Hopefully, he can help keep them up. He is Mr. Watford. I just think people need to get off his back and just give him a break, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
Man's got bills to pay. Bills to pay. The Range Rover needs to be paid for. So does the house. But listen, do you understand that? I feel like with Troy is such an advocate for the mandem, such an advocate for people that have gone through hardship, that I know whatever platform he's going to be on, he's not going to sell anything out. He's going to be himself 100%. And he's going to represent what we have struggled and gone through. So it's good that they've got someone like Troy on there to call out the nonsense that these people post and stuff in it. So I trust in him. I don't think he's going to go and do anything that goes against it. And you're right, what you said, Flex. Like, man, I have to think about what's happening outside of football, because he is coming to the end of his career. And man just has to make sure he's secure in the bag like anyone would anyway. So obviously, the Sun is they're pagans and whatnot. But at the end of the day,
maybe we can change that landscape. We don't always, he could look to kind of be the voice so that they're not that pagans anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, big up Troy, big up Troy. Kinky Jujubi says, super pumped for Chelsea game. Kind of feel bad for Sancho though. Can we get KG and Harry on the show together sometime?
Are they ready for that?
They're saying they're ready. I'm ready
because you know what? I'm a big fan of United stand and also KG and Flex, but I've watched it and I'm just thinking sometimes I just feel like I want to request to come in, but maybe we can get that sorted for them, Flex. I'll leave it.
We'll do it. We're not going to say when. Maybe you guys won't know. It might just appear on your screens. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But it's all about great content. It's all about having a laugh and enjoying it. And you know what? It's just a great community, man. We can go and talk football, and we get people who like work support loads of different teams who come on to watch this. People who support teams in the Championship, abroad, even in the Premier League. It's just a great place to be and come and have a laugh. So yeah, guys, don't we worry about that. We got some stuff off our sleeves that's gonna come for you lot. Yeah, don't worry. Let it build up, no? Know what I mean? Relax, no? They want it all straight away. They want it all straight away, man. So big up to anyone at home. Do you know what I'm saying? Who's watching, having a good time, who's just, you know what I mean, zoning out and just listening and having, just having a good time. So big up to you at home, man. Last kind of 15 minutes. Talk to me now. Chelsea, big game. Like, we did right against Newcastle. Superb performance against PSG. We know how we attack Chelsea. We go with the 3-5-2, but I'm asking you, Harry, do you go with that again because it's kind of tried and tested? It just worked against PSG. Or do you look at Chelsea and go, boy, you know what? Like, even against PSG, we took off Tellers, put on Pogba, went with a 4-4-2 diamond, went after them a bit, and we went up a level. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see us stick with a back five against Chelsea?
I'd rather stick with a back five. They say, you know, don't fix it if it ain't broken. And I think right now, that for me was our best performance, and it was against the PSG team. Really, it was against Neymar and Mbappe, but we're talking about the best two attackers in the world, arguably. So for me, I think let's just go for it. What I like about that formation is that it nullifies all types of attack that's coming our way. And with Werner, if Ziyech starts, with Pulisic, these are players that thrive off space. And if they don't have no space to attack, then they can't really do their job. And I think that's what that system does for us. And I think if we can use that again, and we've got Van der Beek, and if Pogba doesn't start, there's two good players to come on if things don't work. Hopefully Greenwood's available. I think attacking wise, we can match them 100%, and we've got the experience to obviously to hold out that game. So yeah, I really think that performance was a good indication of what that formation can do for us. So I definitely would go for that formation again. Why not?
Hold tight, Stephen Mezza. That's basically what Harry just answered. But Stephen Mezza thinks we should stick with it as well. I think it covers up for a lot of our frailties. He goes on to say, really want to see Cavani and Martial partnership. Unfortunately, we can't see that because Martial's still got 2 games of his ban to serve, bro. So it's interesting to see. Ryan Gibson says, I trust in Ollie in big capitals. I believe he's going to surprise us this year, even with half a team. Maybe try and give Harry some of that sauce, that belief. You know what I mean? Put it into that cup he's drinking out of.
Yeah, I'm only drinking water, guys. But you know what? I want to trust in Ollie. And I do trust in Ollie when we're winning. Yeah, which sounds so mad, doesn't it? Like, it sounds so crazy. But the reason why I say that is because when we're winning, I can see... Flex, listen, hear me out first, yeah? When we're winning, I can see what he's trying to do in it. I can see that he's trying to get our players to play. I can see that he's trying to make us solid. But when we're losing, we genuinely look like we can concede 50 goals in 10 minutes. And it's just about getting that balance right and understanding that, okay, cool. Maybe we're not a team that is open enough to go in toe-to-toe with a team. Maybe we need to sit and counter and make sure that we're defensively sound before we even go and attack. I think that should be the formation. And if that's what Ollie is doing, I trust in him. But if it's one of those things where we're playing how we've been playing before, we're screwed.
Ollie out
We are screwed. I'm fickle. This is what Man United's done to me, Flex. I wasn't like this before, you know. I was a nice guy. I used to always... You were loyal. Look, come on, look. I have it with me everywhere. Like, it's with me.
Has it in
around my head. Do you know what I mean? But look, I'm just saying, innit? Like, I'm going to trust in Ollie because he's our manager right now. And if we didn't win those games against Newcastle and PSG, I'm honestly telling you now, I would have called for his head. But I'm a delicate man. I'm delicate. It's been hard for me. And it's probably been hard for a lot of the people that's watching right now. So
I think it's telling that you're so honest. I think that's refreshing. At least you don't hide behind it. What you're basically saying is, Flex, when the chips are down and it looks like it's going to go to shit, I'm out. Like, I just go for it. When we get a little bounce in that, I'm in. But at least people will know what to expect from you. Like, they know the energy that you've got in it. Like, just say it as it is. Arpan says, I think we have the strongest midfield now if we get a good connection between these players. The midfield, Pogba was dropped last 2 games. Came on against Newcastle, did okay. Came on against PSG, done even better. With how Solskjaer's putting, like, going with the more assured players in there to make us a bit more solid, with a Fred and McTominay, or a Matic and McTominay, or a Matic and Fred, or whatever. or a McFred, as Aiden calls it. Hold tight, Aiden, if you're watching. Big up yourself. Knows who he is. Looks like Jota. If he does. When you see him, you'll go, "Rah, that's actually Jota." Do you think Ollie should persist with that, starting from Chelsea? Kind of played maybe the same team, bar Martial against Chelsea, or where does Pogba fit in for you? How do we get him playing, bro? Because when we've played it so open with Bruno and Pogba, and say one defensive midfielder, we've been so open.
It's crazy because where Bruno is playing right now is where I want to see Pogba. But Bruno is doing an amazing job, though. He's doing such an amazing job, and it's not about my personal opinion, because I obviously am a big fan of Pogba, and I think he's our best player, to be honest. When he's on song, I think there's no one better than him in that team, but he hasn't been. So we have to stick with what works, and at the end of the day, it's a team thing, and we need our team to be winning. I think it's a thing where the pressure that Pogba has, and it's not even his fault. Some people would say it is his fault, whatever, but he has a lot of pressure on him, and I feel like what Ollie's doing is a great piece of man management. You can see, I think he can see that as well. You can see the performances ain't the best, and he's playing the strongest team. McTominay and Fred, one thing you can always say about them is that they will always give you a great performance. And Fred is an amazing player, and I think McTominay is going to keep getting better the more games he plays. So I'm not going to lie. I think Pogba has to stay on the bench for now until we can see a position for him in that team that allows him to be the creative player that we know he is.
I like that, Harry. No agendas there. We all love Pogba, but sometimes you got to say, boys, it's not really working right now. I mean, Donny van der Beek's got to eat bench right now. He can't get into the team.
What do you think about that, though? Because it's hurting me, because I watched the game against Chelsea and Liverpool and Ajax, yeah, and I was like, he left this team to go and play, and he's not playing. Donny's probably played Donny, I didn't even mean to do that, but literally Donny, that's how I called him. Donny's literally played about 30 minutes. Yeah, you get me? Like, he's played about 30 minutes this season.
It's not good enough.
He needs to be
not good enough. I think I will be honest, in the PSG team with the 3-5-2, I can understand there's only space for 110. Like, you can't play Donny up front really, and as a midfield pivot for deeper, he's smart enough to play there. But I think if we started using him there within a few games, we'll be like, he needs to play higher up the pitch. Why is he so deep? Like, every time he's come on, or when he started in them cup games, he's looked brilliant from playing high up the pitch, linking up with a Mata, linking up with a Bruno, with the players. Scored on his debut. Where was he? High up the pitch, in the box. So I can see in the 5-3-2, I understand that, because Bruno's the guy. Bruno's the guy. Are you going to play Donny van der Beek up front instead of Martial and Rashford? No, you're not. Are you going to play Donny van der Beek instead of Fred or McTominay? Some may argue yes, but for me, I think it's a waste. He needs to play further up. But when we played against Newcastle, when he went with like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but it was a lot more defensive and the shape was good. And he put Dan James on the left. And then when Donny van der Beek came on, Van der Beek went to the 10 and Bruno went to the left wing. That can happen. Like, he can start that team. Do you know what I mean? You can still drop Pogba and have your assurances with Matic and Fred, or Fred and McTominay, whatever you want to do. And then you can say, right, this game, Donny, you're going to play where Dan James played. You try and tell me Donny don't have the intelligence to play how Mata plays. Mata played on the right-hand side.
I agree.
So he can play on the right, or he can play on the left, or he can play in the 10. There is positions for me. And the fact that he didn't play or didn't start against Newcastle, I agree with that. He needs to play more in the starting 11 when we play that formation.
It is a long season, though, Flex. And I think
100%.
that's one thing we're forgetting. I think we're just it's like when you go out and you buy your best pair of trainers and you want to wear them, and it's like,
put them on straight away.
Yeah, you put them on straight away. And
don't even go with what you got.
It doesn't matter even if you're wearing dead jeans. It doesn't matter. I'm wearing those trainers. But I think that's what it is with United fans. I think we need to give it some time. I think we need to trust in what Ollie's doing, as mad as that sounds. But I do think that Donny has got a position in that team, and it's a good position, because I feel like if any player does get injured, any of our attacking midfield players, we have a player that can come in and play, and he's ready. So I look forward to seeing him play. Hopefully he starts against Chelsea, though. I would love to see it. Yeah,
I mean, but I see, again, the only way that he starts against Chelsea is to do with the shape. If he, because I think we should go after Chelsea, and I suppose we kind of can do that in a 5-3-2, but there isn't as much containment that I think needs doing against Chelsea. I don't fear them like that. If we can go to PSG, bro, they got Di Maria.
But remember though, Flex, yeah, PSG weren't defending the way Chelsea would. I think Chelsea would try and chase us down a bit. Like PSG were allowing us so much space it made us control the game. And I don't think they'll offer that space for us. For Chelsea know us. They know how to play against Oli. Even though we battered them, but
that's what I'm saying. We beat them 3 times, but they done us over in the semi-final. But that I blame that on Oli, that one. He changed so many players and we was in a good run. He chose between the league and the cup because we had a big game against Leicester after that, I think it was, or something like that. So he chose. He chose. Zayn Miassi, he's always in there. About my blood cart, young, big Arsenal fan, Zayn is. Europe Cup win and finish 4th above Spurs and United, maybe an FA Cup. Get out of here, Zayn. Big out yourself.
He's drinking. He's been drinking.
Yeah, Zayn, listen, the more you come on, you see Zayn, the Arsenal fan. He's always in here giving super chats. He loves it. Emil Garcia says, thanks for addressing that. Thanks for addressing that, Flex. I feel Donny can easier play a better version if Mata out on the right wing. I think basically a couple of typos there, but basically saying a better version of Mata out on the right hand side. And you know what? Even Mata, actually, would I think like put a bit of respect on his name. Like everyone says, like, or a lot of people say, like, nah, man, he's dead. He can't move anymore. He's like over 30. He can't run. Like, get real. Like, he's never been that pace merchant who's going to get past on the outside and whipping the ball. He's always played with this, and you don't lose that the older you get. It only gets better. And the way he played against Newcastle, he was superb.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, he's a great addition, a squad player, isn't it? Like when we took Mata from Chelsea, yeah, we're talking about he was the player, Chelsea's player of the year twice in a row. We know how great he is. He's got an amazing left foot, intelligent player. I think he's the type of player we still need in our club. Because the way he performed, I think it was Newcastle. He performed really, really well in that game. And I think the players that we initially wanted out are the players that have been playing well, like Matic. I remember when we was calling players, not me, I went there, but people were calling for his head, and he's done a great job. I think it would be criminal for us to sell Mata. We've already got rid of Andres Pereira. We've got rid of certain other players. I think we need to keep him there. Quality player, man, and I think he can still do a good job for us.
Blake the First said, let's be real, guys. Donny van der Beek came to be a squad player because for when Pogba and Bruno are on form, he doesn't get in. Let's just give it time. Yeah, like you were saying there, Harry, it's a long season. And yeah, I'm not saying it's an absolute disgrace and stuff like that. He's got to feel his way in. But from the games that have been poor, because we've had such a bad start to the season, Pogba has been out of form. Our midfield has been out of form. The wingers have been out of form. So why would you not play Van der Beek in some of those games? I get it. We've got to be patient. And he did come for the squad depth. I get that. But we needed the squad depth because we was playing crap. That was the whole point of it. So, do you know what I mean? So, big up yourself, Blake. But I do get what you're saying. Arapin says, Arpan says, what if we play one striker, Cavani, put Rashford and Van der Beek in CAM, or Rashford, Bruno, Fred, Pogba, McTominay in CDM, McTominay in CDM, and Telles, Bissaka on the wings to stop the overlap runs? I can't
That's
see.
A FIFA team.
Yeah, that's like, you know, when you're trying to do your ultimate team and they got all them mad formations. It's too I think it's too complicated. I can't see Oli abandoning. Look, there's only a couple of systems that we know Ollie's got in his locker. 3-5-2 against the big teams, 4-2-3-1 in all the other games, and maybe a diamond the odd time. We played a diamond against Everton, didn't really work. But I did like it against PSG, but that's because the game was open. But you know what? Fred to the right of the diamond. It was Pogba to the left of the diamond, Bruno at the top in the 10, and McTominay holding, which you could put a Matic in there if you want, whoever. I did like that with Martial and Rashford up front. I liked it.
It looked very, very good attacking. Like I genuinely looked like chances were just going to be created. There was a lot of stuff going on in that box, and I think it's a good way to change. But the way we started off that game, that first 45 minutes, I didn't know if that was Man United or if that was Barcelona of 2010.
What did you say to me on the phone the other day? You said, Flex, I thought we could what did you say? If we could beat anyone or something?
Yeah, that's how I felt. But do you know what it is? It's one of those things here. When United play that way, it's very fearless. We don't look like we're holding on to some fair. We generally look like the Man United of old. And that's what I want to see again. I don't mind if we lose games. It's just how we perform. And if we can perform to a certain standard and we lose, then that's how football is, isn't it? What was upsetting me was just that it was just crap performances and just not winning no games.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Last super chat of the day. Big up yourself, Noah. I like this one. Matter is a great player to break down the low block. We need to play a little quicker and more active player in Van der Beek against pressing teams like Chelsea. Big up. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Van der Beek is kind of like a bit more of a mobile matter, really. Same kind of football intelligent. Play simple, play one touch, play around corners, play in triangles, keep the ball simple, keep the ball moving. But he's probably a little bit more mobile. So, yeah, I understand that. Listen, we've come to the end of the show, man. First of the Thursday ones down. Harry, enjoy that?
I loved it, man. I wanted to talk for more still. Get me water over there. But
can't get him off now. Can't get him off.
But one thing I am going to change is my connection. So next time I do come on, my connection will be much better, guys. So
connection and the microphone situation, we'll sort that. Yes. We will sort that. This levels, I mean, and they're asking for the thing with KG. We've got some more stuff planned. Don't you guys worry about that. Where can people find you, Harry? And what you got coming up next, man?
You can find me on Instagram, Harry Pinero, or Twitter, Instagram, same thing, Harry Pinero. I've got a show that's out right now called Does the Shoe Fit? It's coming out every Sunday, so go check that out. And just check my Instagram.
Where's that? The Foot Asylum thing?
Foot Asylum on Foot Asylum's YouTube channel. You'll catch me on there. Catch me on YouTube as well, Harry Pinero. But if you check my socials, I'll be posting more stuff about that. So
basically everywhere. You'll be there winding up your favourite footballers or doing some form of madness. Like that's just
Harry. Listen, we need to troll. We need to troll. If we beat Chelsea, troll on the timeline. Yeah.
Right, 100%. And you guys know what it is after these shows. Clip it up at us on Twitter afterwards. Get interactive with United Stand. Let us know that you enjoyed it. We'll get retweeting. We'll get talking to you guys and interacting on the timelines as well. So big up yourself, man. Flex UTD. You know where to find me across all the socials as well. Harry, big up yourself, bro. I'm going to say speak to you soon. Because I'm not going to tell the people when, but I'm going to speak to you soon. People, thanks for joining United Stand. Like, subscribe, and share. If you're new, hit the subscribe button as well. And yeah, big up to yourselves, guys. Peace.